Welcome to What the Mom podcast. You are listening to Doulas Petra
and Jacqueline.
Motherhood can be isolating and hard.
We are two doulas who want to provide a safe place to talk about all things mom.
From pregnancy
To birth.
to postpartum.
To parenting.
Join us as we have real conversations about real life.
You're listening to What the Mom podcast with doulas
Petra and
Jacqueline.
Sorry, we just had some fun trying to do that introduction for some reason.
Pregnancy brain, maybe? I don't know.
That's my excuse. What's yours?
Oh my gosh.
Anyways.
That was entertaining.
Thanks for joining us today.
Today, we're going to be talking about
self-care for moms.
Woohoo.
This is actually a very important topic.
Absolutely.
Because moms, we tend to neglect ourselves.
All the time.
Yeah.
We're always the ones that are putting everyone before us, and whether that be cleaning your house or your children or your husband. Yeah. It's just really important to remember that if we, it's a thing that I learned on Facebook, and it was like, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're not filling yourself up, then you cannot give to others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just is so important to remember that.
That's true.
And I feel like I forget that all the time.
I always think about when you're on an airplane and they're explaining
Yes.
the mask. If the masks fall down and you need
Yes.
oxygen, they always say, put it on yourself first before you help somebody else.
Yes, because if you are not able to take care of yourself, then how can you take care of somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's important, mamas, to do something for yourself. So we're just going to share a few tips that have helped us with our 7 children, soon to be 8. Like, this is self-care to us. Like, hanging out with each other without kids. They're all sleeping.
This is why we like the sleepovers, because we always have our kids with us.
Yes.
Which is great, but exhausting.
And you can't visit the way that we do when the kids go to bed. We have kid-free time.
Uninterrupted. Yeah.
Exactly. We're going to get to paint. We make our snacks that we love, and we're not being interrupted. And it's funny. It's like you hang out with your friend when your kids are there and everybody's all playing, but you really, it's loud, and it's like, it's hard to talk and understand each other anyways. True. So, yeah, we definitely like these nights. So sweet.
Yeah. It's true.
And we stay up late because we just have so much fun with each other.
Once in a while,
we're like
we'll
little
deal
children.
with it. I know our kids always laugh about that. They're like, "You guys always stay up till midnight."
And we're like,
yeah, something like that.
Till like 2.
You don't have to do that. Some people do not find that self-care, but to us, we don't care.
And absolutely, some people, self-care is like
sleep.
Yeah, and my husband, his self-care is like either playing video games or being by himself. He recharges that way. Some people do. I'm the kind of person who doesn't recharge just being by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's extroverted people and there's introverted, and I'm definitely an extrovert. And I feel like, I get more energy being surrounded by people, but some people, they really need that. Yeah. And it is important, just like it is for women to have self-care. It's the same thing for men. They need it too.
Dads also need it.
They're working all the time.
They have a different role, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still exhausting.
It's still exhausting. They just carry a different load. And so, yeah, it's important. Absolutely. So what's our first...
I don't know, we can just keep taking turns.
Yeah.
With some points. So I guess So you said hanging out with people, spending time with friends.
Yes.
Is one. Another one might be figuring out a hobby that
That's
you
a good
enjoy.
thing. Yeah.
So what hobbies you enjoy is going to
Yeah.
change for each person, right?
Mhm.
So that could be, this could probably cover a few things then.
Yeah.
Because that hobby could be painting. That's why we like doing paint nights together.
We love
like
doing
painting.
paint nights. Absolutely.
I didn't know I liked painting until you showed me.
And that's so funny because I didn't know I liked painting until my friend told me, let's do one.
That's
and
so
then
funny.
she's like, oh my gosh, you're really good. Like,
Yeah.
really good. And I'm like, I had no idea. And so, yeah,
It is
it's
funny.
just fun little things like that.
Yeah.
And like, even though it is going to be 12 o'clock by the time we're done,
Whatever.
we're
still
still
fun.
probably going to paint. And it's just, I don't know, even if it's late, it doesn't matter. It's doing something that we love to do, and it's just having girl time. I think, like it doesn't even really matter.
Yeah.
We just have fun anyways.
Some other hobbies might be reading. Some people, they
Knitting.
love just sitting
Yeah.
with a book and just
Mhm.
reading. It might be maybe writing stories or writing poems or writing songs. Maybe
Yeah.
sewing, knitting, crocheting. Yeah.
I actually learned how to knit.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cool.
My mother-in-law, she gave me some stuff, and I kind of just like felt like I was like, obviously you have to try.
Yeah.
And then I actually got it, and then I actually knitted a dishcloth. I don't even know if I finished it. I think it's still on the thing, and the yarn, and the needles. But yeah, I had no idea, and I had fun, and I did it anyways.
It's a hobby I want to pick up. My husband asked if I could start learning to knit stuff.
It's fun.
For me personally, though, I haven't, just because I find it too distracting when I have young children around to try to knit. Because you have to count how many times you're doing it, right?
Yeah. I also
One
did
day I will.
cross stitching. She also showed me and Sophie that.
Yeah.
And that was actually fun.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that.
So there's a lot of different hobbies you can pick up and
Yeah.
find. If there's something you enjoy, that's considered self-care because you're doing it because you enjoy it.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be you like to work out.
Yeah, exercising is a very good one.
Yeah.
And that could look different for each person.
Absolutely. It could be self-care to someone is going to the gym for 2 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. But a lot of my friends, they love it. And yeah, if it makes them happy, and even friends of mine that don't have kids, self-care is the same thing. It's good for everybody, even if you're a single person, right?
It just looks a little bit different.
Just looks a little bit different, and it's usually more accessible than a mom or a dad because we have our children. But
I'd say exercising is important for everybody, though.
Everybody.
That's not something that you could just choose. It's something that is important.
No, I think, and it doesn't have to be a crazy amount. I think even just getting your heart rate up, because we think, oh, like, it's I used to not think exercise was a huge deal, but then it's like you want to have a healthy heart, but then you don't want to elevate your heart rate. Like, how does you're strengthening that heart muscle when you do that? And so even just like going for a walk, anything that's getting your heart rate up, I think it's really important. It doesn't have to be like cardio or like super intense working out. If people like doing it, awesome. But
do what you're able to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's going for walks, even if you're with the kids, pushing them in a stroller.
Yeah.
Walking together if they're older.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Could be going for bike rides.
Yeah. I love bike rides.
Yeah.
I loved it.
You do that lots with your kids.
Yeah, my kids love it. And I even got a baby bike seat, and my baby loves going. It's lots of fun.
Workout classes, we did that for a while.
Yeah, we did.
Those are nice if you feel like you need accountability.
Those were the times I did work out.
Oh.
But I haven't for a while, so I need to smarten up and
Yeah.
do that because it's just important.
Yeah. If you are in our area, we can hook you up with an awesome workout class where you can even bring your kids.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. Mary's awesome.
Yeah, she has a really awesome class.
Yeah, she does.
And it's great to be able to just get out to be with other moms and exercise together, have that accountability once a week to check in. I personally love doing workouts at home with my kids. Some people find that stressful and they absolutely hate it. Yeah. I love it because I'm the kind of person where my kids, they work out with me.
Yeah.
So I don't do like stuff on a TV very often. A lot of people like that. I don't.
I usually do.
Yeah. I find that more stressful trying to keep up with someone on TV. Yeah. And so I just do my own thing. So I just turn on some fun music and I do some exercises. Sometimes I'll look up some routines online that'll include some basic things. Yeah. And sometimes I'll just make it up on my own on the spot. But it'll be like maybe I'll be doing some squats. Yeah. And I'm holding baby while I'm doing the squats, and baby is my weight. Yeah. Or my older kids are trying to run between my legs every time I go up, right? And then they're like trying to get through so mom doesn't squish us. Yeah. When I'm doing glute lifts or glute bridges, or I don't know what you call them, where you're on your back and you lift your butt up and squeeze. You can put a weight on your pelvis.
Or a baby.
And I use the baby. Or multiple children now that I have lots of kids. Yeah. They're all like, let's pile on mom. Yeah. I let them take turns on my back and when I'm doing like fire hydrants and donkey kicks and stuff. And they think that's so much fun. Yeah. And then other times they'll just copy me. Yeah. And they'll get on the floor and they'll try to do the same thing that I'm doing. Yeah. And it's fun. And it's
good for kids too.
I recently bought some little 1 pound weights so the little ones can use them, and it's fun watching. Yeah. So that's another thing you can do.
It's a great thing to teach kids at a young age that is self-care. It's taking care of yourself, and even that goes along with healthy diet. You're really good at showing your kids that, so you should be proud of yourself.
That's true. That's self-care too.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Right?
Making sure that you're putting good things into your body. You don't have to completely say no to all of the other stuff. No. But moderation.
In moderation, absolutely. It's okay to have the treats and all those things, but our bodies were meant to have nutrition. So.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think you do a good job of that.
Thanks.
You do. You should be proud of yourself.
It looks a little different for everyone.
It does, absolutely. Yeah. We try our best.
Yeah. Maybe self-care is just making sure in those first months after having a baby, maybe even weeks, have a shower or a bath.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is so hard to do.
I saw this reel and it was so funny. I don't know if I sent it to you. And it's the Lion King soundtrack. It is time. And this woman gets in the shower and she washes her hair and it's all dramatic. And I'm just like, that is so me. It's so funny. Because before you have kids, you're just like, oh my gosh, be clean,
Yeah, like shower every day.
And then sometimes you're like, how long has it been? Like to the point where my husband's like, don't come near me. Unless you know that I actually have a shower. Then he will like cuddle me. But otherwise he's like, he doesn't know what he's walking into. And he's not wrong. Because most of the time it's usually a couple days.
I know some women that are really good at prioritizing this.
I know some women too.
I'm not either.
Every single day.
Yeah.
How many times do you joke about it? You're like, oh yeah, my husband's coming home. Should probably shower and shave my legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, I'm not gonna lie, mine are quite furry. It's the winter fur. No, but in all seriousness, that is a self-care thing too.
Yeah, it is important.
that you are clean.
I think a lot of moms find it hard in that fourth trimester, and the baby's really young too. It's even harder, right?
For sure, and I don't really have an excuse. I just sometimes forget.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, oops. Like, whatever, TMI, who cares? I was shaving my armpits today in the bathroom. My daughter comes in, and she's like, Mom, those are really hairy. I'm like, yep, they're getting there. She's like, Mom, that's gross.
That's the thing. It's okay. You can just grow them.
I said, it is a thing in some countries, where they just like, they grow it out really long. They can braid it.
I know.
I'm not that bad.
I remember my son, I don't know how old he would have been at this time, but I remember having long armpit hair because I wasn't shaving for a while.
Oh my god.
I just had a new baby. I don't know which baby number it was. But I remember I had my arm up like I was like holding my head or something and my arm's up. And he just reaches over and he starts like playing with my armpit hair. I was like, okay, I know I need to shave. Like, what is that? Yes, that is hair. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to play with it.
Everyone has it.
Everybody has hair.
When you are older, you will too.
It's so funny though. I laughed so hard because I'm like, oh yeah. And usually it doesn't get like that. But sometimes life just gets away on you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be every single day. Like when I work out, usually I do every day because you just feel gross and sweaty and whatever.
But just don't let it get out of hand where it's like, when was the last time I showered or bathed?
That can probably be a problem.
That's not a good thing. That is.
There's a lot of reasons.
Neglect care, not self-care.
And also, I won't lie, I don't bathe my children every single day.
I don't either.
But it is also important to make it a priority. Yes. Absolutely. Our kids need to be clean too.
It's true.
For sure.
That is very
Don't make it as dramatic as the Lion King song there.
Yeah.
It is time. I will never stop laughing at that. It's so good. I'll show you after. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's important. So remember, mamas. Dads usually don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Mine does.
Men tend to shower every day.
Every day. Whatever.
Most do.
Whatever.
What else can we do for self-care? Brushing your teeth.
That's a huge thing.
Sometimes that can be easy to not do because kids go to bed, or maybe the baby like finally just fell asleep and you're like, I'm tired and I just want a treat. So you go and you eat something or you drink something.
Well, don't forget to brush your teeth.
Then you forget to brush your teeth. Well, then you have all the sugar in your mouth and
sugar bugs will get you.
Not good. Your hair, not only do you need to wash it every once in a while, you need to brush it every once in a while too.
Probably brush it too. Yeah.
You don't have to do your hair up every day.
No, you don't have to put makeup on.
You know what? If you want to do the mom bun, that's fine.
That's totally fine. That's totally acceptable.
But you probably should brush it every once in a while.
Absolutely.
It does feel nice as a mom to actually still get yourself ready every once in a while.
I feel like I'm more productive when I do that.
I do too.
If I just like look like my bum self, it does not motivate me.
It's true.
To get out of bed. Like today, I didn't get out of bed till. Don't watch this, Keith. It was the baby who was not feeling good, but she just kept wanting to nurse, and I didn't get out of bed till it was like 10:45.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be with my friends in a few hours. And then I finally showered. You're welcome.
There you go, self-care.
But there you go. But yeah, in all seriousness, it's important to do those things, and if it makes you feel better, at the end of the day, have a nice bath with candles if you want. Or with a nice glass of wine. It's not saying that it's a bad thing. I always say I will not have wine if I've had a bad day because I don't like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I love wine, and just going and having a bath and having a glass of wine, I really enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I'm saying that if like I've had a bad day and I'm upset and turning to alcohol, that's not what I like to do. But just enjoying some glass of wine with like, you know, a bath, I love it. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite.
That's true.
Absolute favorite thing to do.
And even better if you put some Epsom salts in that bath.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do that a lot. I love it so much.
Then it's really nice.
Oh man. And yeah, and you can not bathe with your child and have the water steaming hot. Love it.
Nice and warm.
Oh, it's my favorite.
I can't have it too hot anymore now that I'm pregnant.
I remember that was the worst thing ever.
I keep going through this again.
I'm like,
I'm finally out of it, and I'm like, yay, I can do this again, I can do this again, I can do this again,
and
never mind.
And never again. You did hit that wakeboard, though.
I got on the wakeboard.
You did?
Yeah, this summer. I did, that's true. I haven't been
did.
able to go on the wakeboard for a while.
You did, and you did. So, you did it right before you got pregnant again.
Mm-hmm.
So good for you.
It's true.
Yeah, because you wanted to do that for a long time.
Yeah.
And that could just be silly little things like that. She really wanted to get on the wakeboard again.
That's true.
Right? Things that make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Can be different for everyone, but it's just important to remember that we matter and that we're our best selves when we give ourselves that care.
Mm-hmm.
With anything.
It is very true.
Yeah. I can't think of
spending time with your spouse.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That could look differently for everyone. It could be going on dates outside of the house.
If you're single, yeah, if you're just the two of you.
It could be maybe just spending time together at home.
Yeah.
When the kids are asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like something you go spend a bunch of money on.
No.
You can go on a date that's free.
Yeah.
If you have some childcare.
Yeah.
You could do something at home. I remember one time we were talking about going camping, but it was cold out. I can't remember what month it was, but it wasn't camping season. And my husband was like, oh, I wish we could go camping. Mm-hmm. So I used one of those shelter tents, like the half tents.
Yeah.
I set it up in our living room.
Mm-hmm.
And I put technically it's like the Christmas holiday fire that you can put on the TV.
Oh, yeah.
I put that on so it's like a campfire.
No.
And then I hung up the lamp in the tent, and I got sleeping bags, and we got to go camping.
I love that.
In our living room. So that was a fun date.
That's so fun.
So you can do things that are really simple.
Yeah.
You can do things that are romantic. You can do things that are going to spice your marriage up.
Mm-hmm.
You can do things to recreate old memories. Mm-hmm. There's so many fun things you can do.
So many things.
Just playing games together.
Yeah. It's important to just prioritize that.
Yeah. Because it was just the two of you before children came along. It takes the two of you to make a baby in the first place, so you knew each other before the baby.
Absolutely. I remember seeing a video, and this couple were like, every single day at a certain time, their kids would go upstairs. Mm-hmm. And they would just have time, him and his wife. And he explained how before they had kids, it was them. And when they leave and they're grown, it will just be them. Mm-hmm. And if you don't invest in that person, in that marriage, then you're only going to have in common what you had talking about your kids or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because this has happened to me where I've gone on a date with my husband and all we can do is talk about the kids. And then I remember sitting there and we both just like thought about it and we're like, oh my gosh, all we're talking about is the kids. Like, we don't even remember how to be just us. And I was like, oh, that's scary. And then it was like we had to do that because we realized in that moment that we were always talking about the kids, and that's what we would always do. Or it would be work or something. I'd be like, oh, how's work or whatever, and I still do. But it just it scared me because I was like, oh my goodness, if we don't take this seriously and spend time with each other and really talk to each other and spend time together on an us level, then that's where it gets really scary and where you become distant, and you don't want that. So like you said, it is very important, whatever that is.
It's true.
Whatever that is for you.
I remember at one point listening to a podcast, The Unveiled Wife.
Okay.
And I think that's what it was called. Anyways, the couple, is a couple that do this podcast, and they were talking about this same thing, how it's important to have other conversation when it's just the two of you besides the children.
Gosh.
And they actually created a list of questions that you can have for each other if you need to start conversation, which is great. So there would be questions like, if you had the chance to go visit anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? And then you can start talking about that. Or be questions about something about your past, and then you start talking about that.
Yeah.
Or something else that you want to do together in your future planning.
Loved as a kid. Yeah.
So sometimes it's important to just be reminded of topics like that.
And my church, they actually give us a date night once a month. And you sign up to go. They give you from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. And it's just 4 hours of free childcare. It's such a blessing because they know they're investing in our marriages. And I love that they give us these packages, and it's a devotional, and then they give us conversation starters. And it's so funny because I was like, what would we need conversation starters for? But really, when all you're doing is parenting all the time, and that's all you're ever talking about, you do forget to just talk about normal life and just how, how's it going? If there's things you need to talk about, all these things. And so I never really understood it. And then until now, it's like, wow, okay, this is like really important.
It's true.
And I'm very grateful that they do that because it has been a huge help.
I find it can be even more difficult being a stay-at-home mom because you also don't have work to think about because this is your only job. This is your job. I mean, it's not like it's an easy job. It's hard. But it is your job. So your life is literally your children in this point in your life.
At like all times.
Yeah. So it is easier to just have that as the main conversation. I know I find I do that a lot with my husband. Is I start just talking about something the kids did, and this kid did this, and this kid is talking about this, and oh my goodness, did you hear about what this kid did? Yeah. And then I've realized, I should probably start talking about other things as well.
And you just don't think about it until, it's really important.
It's true.
So make sure that you have that as a priority.
Yeah. I know for me, my husband, he's gone on shift work. He works away 2 weeks. He's home 1 week. And so he's gone a lot, and I'm by myself with the kids. So self-care for me is very important because of how much I'm with the kids.
Oh, gosh.
But when he's home, he'll do things like he'll say to me, okay, go take a nap. I got the kids. Don't worry about it. And I'll get to go have a nap during the day. Or he'll say, okay, go have a bath. Or sometimes we need some groceries. I will go and I'll actually go get the groceries by myself. Because I go grocery shopping with the kids all the time.
It's a treat.
So it actually feels nice to be by myself and getting groceries. Like, even though it's still...
Go get a chocolate bar and eat it without them.
It's still like a chore technically.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so much faster. I don't have to worry about buckling and unbuckling any children.
It's so nice.
I don't have to worry about putting a child in the cart and having children ask me, oh, can we buy this? And can we have that? And the answer is always no. We have a list.
It can be as simple as, just going shopping.
So instead I go, and then I usually will just buy myself a little treat. Because I don't have to worry about children being like, well, we want some. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's nice. Yeah.
I know, it is.
And to me, that still feels like self-care.
Yes. Absolutely.
Some people maybe that's not their thing, but to me it is.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's big or small.
Mm-hmm.
If it's bringing you enjoyment and it's like de-stressing, you know, we're both Christian, and so I think a huge one for us is like our time with the Lord, and like
we were talking about this earlier, how important it is.
Yeah, and how like when I get up in the morning and I read my Bible, I just have a way better day. Like I'm not freaking out. Like if I don't do that, then that's the morning when I spill the cereal all over the floor, and then I spill the milk, and everything
you just get more irritable about it too.
Something just keeps happening, and it's like a vicious cycle. And well, that's like the biggest one for me is like my relationship with God, and like just, you know, spending time. That would be a huge one for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and just enjoying time to do praise and worship by myself, or listen to praise and worship on my phone, or read my Bible, or just anything.
I find that making sure I wake up before my children helps.
Oh, that is so hard, though.
It is very hard, especially if you are waking up at night with children.
Yes.
But I find it makes a huge difference in my day.
Yeah.
Because if I wake up before them, I have time to read my Bible. I have time to make myself a coffee or a tea and drink it in peace. And no, I'm not going to forget about it and then go do something else.
And have to reheat it 50 times.
I know that I'm able to prepare myself mentally for the day and emotionally for the day because I have that quiet initially, and I slowly wake up and I get ready for my day. Yeah. And then the kids wake up, okay, I'm prepared. Whereas if I get woken up by the children and I'm up at the same time,
it's just like
chaos right away.
It's chaos.
Because that's just children, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, I got to go do this. I got to make breakfast for them, and I got to get them dressed, and we got to think about our day already, and we got to have plans to do this or that,
makes
right?
A world of a difference.
Yeah. Especially with young children and babies, it's like,
absolutely,
go, go, go. You don't really have as many breaks.
No, you don't. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's really important.
Some people, they prefer the evening to themselves. I kind of do a bit of both. That's your thing. You're a night owl. Yeah.
I'm a night owl. My husband, he usually is like, well, that's because I have to get up at 5. And I'm like, no, you're not wrong. If I get up at 5, which I have tested, and I am not a morning person. Because, like, even if I go to bed at 10, I'm still not a morning person. I'm really not. And so, like, I've gotten up with him a few times where he's gotten up early, and I've gone down the stairs, and I'm just not able to cope. I go back to bed because I know it's better for everybody. Yeah. But you know yourself and what works better for you. So. Yeah.
And every family will do it differently.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. For me, my husband and I decided that our children are going to go to bed at a certain time most nights. We're not like super strict, like we can never deviate from it, but we have like generally like a certain time. Yeah. So we say, okay, we're starting bedtime at 7. Yeah. And we like to spend time with the kids during like that bedtime process. So it could take up to an hour to even do bedtime. Which is why we start so early. Because we like to talk to them about their day. We like to read with them, pray with them. Sometimes I'll sing songs even when I'm by myself with them.
Yeah.
And we enjoy that time. But then they're in bed by 8:30 at the most.
Yeah.
Because we like to have that time to ourselves in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when my husband's home, we like to have that time together.
Oh, for sure.
And when he's not home, that's my time to like breathe and be like, okay, that was a good day. And now I just need to de-stress and do some self-care.
Yeah, whatever.
That's exactly what I need, yeah.
Oh,
and then in the morning, I've personally made a rule. My kids do not come out of their room until 7 o'clock. So when they're younger, when they're babies, if they wake up before 7, then I will, depending on what time it is, I might nurse them. I might change them if they had a poopy diaper. I might just kind of gently shush them or rock them back to sleep. But I don't officially let them get up until 7. And the older kids, they know, look at the clock, and when there's a 7, that 7 anything, then you know you can get up. So
then you know you're good to go. Yeah.
Yeah. You can use those grow clocks that have the light.
Yeah.
I did do that for a while, but I turned it off because some days my kids do sleep until like 8 or 8:30. And if that light is on, they won't.
Lucky. Yeah.
I am very lucky.
Yeah.
My kids like to sleep, which is nice.
They like to sleep. Where mine is, they're just awake and
you have to wake up early,
and being crazy.
So that bright light turning on at 7 a.m. means they're always up at 7 a.m.
Yeah, I mean,
so I didn't like that, but it works for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So again, you find out what works for you, and some people they're okay with their kids waking up at whatever time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It just has to work for you.
Yeah, that's how I do my self-care though, because that guarantees me a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
To not have the chaos, especially since I have so many kids
and you're gonna have another one.
We're expanding more.
Yeah. And it's a lot, especially when you're by yourself.
Yeah. And it gets loud.
Yeah.
That's one thing I notice about big families is it is loud.
It's loud.
It's wonderful.
But
like I could say so many wonderful things, but it's loud. And so at the end of the day, it's nice to just have that calmness.
Absolutely.
And be like, okay. And same thing with first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Can you think of any other ideas? I think that's it for me.
Yeah. I can't really think of anything else.
There might be other things that you enjoy, but I think the main thing is just to remember
important.
Take care of yourself.
You cannot pour from an empty cup.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. So, thanks so much for joining us.
And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, follow, share. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we hope that you guys learned something in today's episode.
Yeah.
Until next time.
What the moms?